Hi, my amazing TBY family. This is another day. Welcome to today's episode. Today's episode, it's a continuation of what I started last week, which says that the past is not your prison. So continuing straight into today's episode is what I've titled Living in the Past of Yesterday. But then before I delve right deeper, I would urge you to subscribe to this channel. And if you didn't watch last week's episode, I would want you to go and watch it so that you will gain a better understanding of what I'm talking about today. Listen, many people assume that moving forward or moving on means that forgetting about what you have experienced entirely. But I know that moving on, it's not amnesia. It's not something that you entirely forget about. Whatever experiences or stories that really define or shaped something massively in the outcome of your life, it is very difficult to forget entirely about whatever that you have experienced. But I know that moving on is that gaining freedom in the captivity of what your experiences brought into your life. It is gaining freedom into the past, gaining emotional freedom. Yes, it is emancipation from emotional captivity, from the pain and the power thereof that your yesterday has been able to bring into your life to keep you stuck or to keep you bound. I know that you cannot forget about the past or whatever experiences that you have gone, be it from your family, your friendship, your marital association, business-wise, or whatever that has gone on. You may have lost some money because you decided to take on an adventure and it is keeping you bound because of the intensity of the amount that you lost, or even somebody that you trusted, that you put your life in, and at the end of the day, it gave you an experience. You have a child out of it, and now you don't even know what to do. But I know that there is hope for tomorrow. One thing that you cannot do, which I know, is forgetting about it. But I know that one thing that you can do is gaining the emotional emancipation from the power thereof that keeps you bound and keep you stuck. Listen, some people keep on replaying their past daily. It can even be the past of your yesterday. The experiences that we made has defined us to think that, oh, all men are scum, as people say, all women are scum, whatever that we call it. But then the people that we experience does not define the total number of people who live in the world. So sometimes our experience will give us a lesson, but not to keep us bound or to keep us stuck from the rest of your life. Yes, because some people keep on reminding themselves of the opportunities that they lost, of the disappointment that they encountered, of all the things that they experienced that were really tragic. But I know that the enemy loves this pattern. Yes, because if you were the enemy, you will really love this pattern, because something that you always awaken and then your mind is constantly gravitating towards the past is something that the enemy would definitely love. But I love what the scripture says. I always rule my life based on what the scripture says. Paul says something. He says, forgetting about the past and pressing on towards the mark of the high calling. Paul was not pretending that his past does not exist, but he simply refused to let it control the direction of his life. Paul was able to gain this depth of revelation about forgetting or leaving the past behind. He's the one person who could have been trapped forever by guilt, his past, his sins, by his weaknesses. Because this is the man who was always on the neck of believers, who were killing believers, who were destroying them. And this is the same person who met God and was in another realm. He could have lived by guilt, always, and rehearsing of all the mistakes and all the pain that he had gone through. But he knew that each day requires us to press on. That is why he said, we press on towards the mark of the high calling. I tell you, your best is not in your past. I do not care how many successes that you made, how many impacts that you've made, the people that you have blessed, the people that you have carried along, but I know that greater dimension lies ahead. If you were done with your life, you wouldn't be alive. The fact that you can breathe means that there is somebody that still needs you. There is somebody that you still need to impact. There is somebody that you still have to bless. There is still hope for your marriage, for your business, for any dimension of your life that you want God to touch. So you cannot walk into your future while still facing your past, because whatever that you face consistently leaves you with a blueprint or a pattern to follow. So you can't walk into the dimension of your future while still facing your past. I like to read a lot about stories of great people who have made impact in various industries or various sectors. And one of them that connects deeply with this message is the story about Tyler Perry. I read that his early life was filled with rejection, was filled with hardship, with disappointment, and even a point that he was homeless. He wrote a lot of stories that people did not resonate with, people did not accept, people refused to open their arms to his stories. So his plays that he wrote struggled to gain audience, struggled to gain acceptance. He faced a lot of financial collapse and struggles. I believe that at one point he could have easily concluded the course of his life based on all the experiences that his yesterday or his past has reflected into his life. But then he kept on forging on. He kept on pressing on. He refused to live in the past of yesterday. Instead, he used his experience as lessons to help him to always do better, to help him to gain better. Now his stories are healing stories that people resonate with, that gives people hope, that inspires people to forge on, even in the movie industries or even in all the industries at large. Today, he's known as one of the renowned storyteller in all his movies that has won several awards, several recognitions in the whole world at large. This is all because he continued to forge ahead and press on. Now, his life is a reminder to you and I that painful beginnings do not cancel out powerful endings. The fact that you began in a painful situation, the fact that your experiences were so much painful, were so much tragic, were so much hopeless, does not mean that cancel out the powerful endings and the powerful destiny that God has for you. This leads me with a spiritual truth. God often uses what really breaks you as part of what often brings your influence. God specializes in new beginnings. He specializes in opening new chapters of our life. So there are books that God is writing through us. And in that book, I see in the book, the first part, the second part, the third part, all of them are stories that builds out into the next chapter of our life. How do you know that the next chapter of your life are going to cancel out all the painful situations that you went through? That at the end of the day, because he specializes in the ability to create new chapters. Remember that your painful beginnings do not cancel out the great endings that God has for you. The TBY podcast was brought to you by your very host, Lady Portia Kankam. Today, I will encourage you to keep pressing on towards the mark of the higher calling, because your best is definitely in your tomorrow. Remember to stay happy, stay fruitful, stay blessed. See you. Bye.